We started out the right way, the hard way, which a lot of them are offered these things now. Learn how hard it is to get to where you have to get.
We all know success doesn't come easy, it's earned the hard way. But have you ever wondered about the price some pay to achieve it? Take the incredible Patti LaBelle, for example. While her powerful stage presence tells a story of triumph and grace, her personal life has been marked by heartbreak and resilience. In a rare and candid interview, Patti opened up about the struggles that have shaped her, from turbulent family experiences in her childhood to intense legal battles and devastating personal losses. It's a side of her story few people know, and it reveals just how much strength lies behind her iconic voice. Though Patti's childhood seemed stable on the surface, the reality was far more complex. Her father, Henry Holta, balanced life as a hard-working railroad worker and a nightclub singer. Meanwhile, her mother, Bertha Holta, faced her own challenges, which eventually led to the couple's separation when Patti was just 12 years old. Despite this upheaval, Patti held onto her bond with her father, cherishing their relationship until his passing. For Patti, their connection was a source of comfort and strength amidst the difficulties she faced growing up. Patti's early life was shaped by more than just family struggles. It included a deeply personal and troubling experience she kept private for many years. This event had a profound impact on her emotional well-being, influencing how she viewed herself and the world around her. In the face of these challenges, Patti found refuge in her church, which became a sanctuary for healing and self-expression. Within the supportive walls of her church community, she began to nurture her musical talents, channeling her pain into creativity and growth. As a child, Patti was far from the bold, confident performer we know today. She was shy and reserved, a quiet observer of the world around her. In a documentary about her life, she revealed that she never imagined herself pursuing music as a career. Instead, she dreamed of a simple future as a housewife, unable to see the dynamic personality that lay hidden beneath her timid exterior. This quiet nature stood in stark contrast to the commanding stage presence that would one day mesmerize audiences worldwide. In high school, Patti took her first steps into music by forming a singing group with her older sister and 3 friends. While their shared love for music brought them together, the group was short-lived. Tensions, particularly between Patti and her sister, led to their disbandment after just one performance. Though disheartening, this experience was an important stepping stone for Patti, teaching her early lessons about perseverance and resilience in the face of challenges. Her passion for music didn't waver, and soon she joined another group called the Ordettes. This opportunity gave Patti the space to develop her talent and gain valuable experience in the competitive world of music. The Ordettes played a pivotal role in shaping her as a performer, allowing her to explore her potential and build the foundation for her future career. Determined to chase her dreams, Patti made a bold choice. She left school to focus entirely on music. Under the guidance of manager Bernard Montague, she began touring with the Ordettes, immersing herself in a period of intense growth and professional development. This decision marked a transformative turning point in her life, setting the stage for her eventual rise as one of the most iconic voices in music history. In the years that followed, Patti LaBelle poured her heart into touring and performing, steadily building a loyal fan base and earning her place in the music industry. Her relentless dedication and undeniable talent began to pay off, setting the stage for the remarkable achievements that lay ahead. However, during this pivotal time in her career, Patti's personal life took an intriguing turn when she crossed paths with Otis Williams, a rising star in the music world. It was the early 1960s, and Patti, then an emerging singer in Philadelphia, met Otis Williams, a key member of the Temptations, one of Motown's most iconic groups. Their encounter during the Temptations' visit to Philadelphia for a show sparked an immediate chemistry that quickly developed into a passionate relationship. While their connection was intense, Patti later reflected on it with a mix of emotions. In hindsight, she questioned whether her feelings were rooted in genuine affection or influenced by Otis's status as a member of a legendary group. This self-awareness revealed the complexities of navigating personal relationships under the influence of fame and success, something Patti would encounter repeatedly throughout her career. As their romance grew, Otis proposed to Patti, a gesture that showcased his deep commitment to their relationship. But his proposal came with a significant condition. Patti would need to move to California and scale back her music career to focus on their life together. This put Patti at a crossroads. Music was more than a career for her. It was her passion and identity. identity. The idea of stepping away from it, even for love, was a sacrifice she wasn't willing to make. In her autobiography, Don't Block the Blessings, Patti shared how this decision became a defining moment in her life. She ultimately chose to decline Otis's proposal, prioritizing her dreams and staying true to herself. It was a bold and empowering choice, reflecting her unwavering commitment to her craft and her refusal to compromise her aspirations for anyone. Though their romantic relationship ended, Patti and Otis maintained a close friendship over the years, despite their separate paths. Their enduring connection speaks to the mutual respect and admiration they shared, even as their lives and careers soared in different directions. It's a testament to Patti's strength and integrity, both as an artist and as an individual determined to chart her own course. One of the more unsettling and lesser-known chapters of Patti LaBelle's early career involves an encounter with Jackie Wilson, a towering figure in the music world during the early 1960s. In her autobiography, Patti candidly recounts a troubling incident with Wilson that exposed a darker, more complicated side of his character. At the time, Patti was still carving out her place in the industry, while Wilson was already a celebrated star. The incident took place backstage at a theater in Brooklyn. Patti, alone and unprepared for what was to come, described how Wilson unexpectedly approached her in a way that immediately made her feel uneasy. As she later recalled, she could smell alcohol on his breath, a detail that suggested he may have been under the influence. What began as an uncomfortable encounter quickly escalated into something far more alarming when Wilson and an associate allegedly attempted to carry Patti into a locked room. This terrifying moment placed Patti in an incredibly vulnerable position, as she lacked the physical strength or means to defend herself. Desperate to escape, she screamed as loudly as she could, a courageous act that ultimately saved her. The noise drew enough attention to force Wilson and his associate to release her, allowing Patti to escape unharmed. Though she managed to avoid physical harm, the emotional toll of the experience stayed with her, serving as a stark reminder of the dangers lurking behind the glitz and glamour of the music industry. This incident also casts a complicated shadow over Jackie Wilson's public image. While widely celebrated for his talent and charisma, Wilson's personal life was often marked by volatility and troubling behavior. At the time of the incident, Wilson was married to his childhood sweetheart, Frida Hood, though his actions often reflected a pattern of recklessness that tarnished his legacy. Patti's account was later corroborated by Gladys Knight, a mutual friend of both artists. While Knight acknowledged the truth of Patti's story, she also spoke of Wilson's positive impact on her own career, highlighting his generosity and support of fellow musicians. This duality in Wilson's character adds layers to his legacy, portraying a man who was both a gifted performer and a deeply flawed individual. For Patti, the incident was not just a distressing memory, but also a defining moment in her early career, showcasing her resilience and determination to rise above the challenges she faced in an often unforgiving industry. The road to stardom for any musician is rarely straightforward. It's often filled with twists, setbacks, and moments of perseverance. Patti LaBelle's rise to fame was no different, marked by challenges that tested her resolve and shaped her career. After leaving high school to pursue music, Patti and her group, originally known as the Ordettes, embarked on an arduous tour along the East Coast. The relentless grind of daily performances at small venues showcased their dedication and determination to carve out a space in the highly competitive music industry. The Ordettes, featuring Patti, Sarah Dash, Nona Hendrix, and Cindy Birdsong, worked tirelessly to refine their craft and build a following. Long hours spent rehearsing and performing became the foundation of their artistry, preparing them for the breakthrough moment every musician dreams of. That moment arrived in 1962, but not without complications, centered around a song titled I Sold My Heart to a Junkman. According to John Clementi's girl groups, Fabulous Females Who Rocked the World, the opportunity stemmed from an unlikely source, Harold B. Robinson, a car dealer with aspirations of launching a record label. Initially, Robinson approached a different group, the Starlets, to record the song. Despite being signed to another label, the Starlets agreed, believing the recording wouldn't interfere with their contract. However, when Robinson officially launched Newton Records, he released the track under the name The Bluebells, a rebranded identity for Patti's group, the Ordettes. Unaware of the Starlets' prior involvement, Patti and her group recorded I Sold My Heart to a Junkman during their audition with Robinson. To their surprise, the song became a hit, catapulting them toward the success they had been working so hard to achieve. But as their popularity grew, so did the complications. The starlet's manager discovered the track was being promoted by another group under a new name and filed a lawsuit against Robinson, accusing him of breach of agreement. Caught in the middle of this legal dispute, Patti and her group faced an unexpected hurdle just as their careers were beginning to gain momentum. Despite the controversy, this period became a defining chapter in their journey, showcasing their resilience and the complexities of navigating the music industry. While I Sold My Heart to a Junk Man brought them into the spotlight, it also underscored the unpredictable and often challenging nature of the road to success. After the turbulence surrounding Harold Robinson and the Starlets, Patti LaBelle and her group found themselves navigating a series of highs and lows. In the early 1960s, they recorded several top 40 hits, solidifying their status as a promising act in the music scene. Yet, their path was anything but smooth. In 1965, the Bluebells signed with Atlantic Records in hopes of reaching new heights. However, the partnership failed to deliver the anticipated results. Despite the label's efforts to rebrand and promote the group, their momentum faltered, leaving them in a period of uncertainty. The struggles with Atlantic Records weren't the only challenges they faced. By the end of their contract, the group underwent significant changes. Cindy Birdsong, one of the group's core members, left the Bluebells to join the Supremes, stepping into the spotlight as Florence Ballard's replacement. The departure marked a turning point for the group as they began to rethink their identity and future in the industry. The early 1970s ushered in a transformative chapter for Patti and her group. Collaborations with British artists introduced them to new musical influences, but the most pivotal change came when television producer Vicky Wickham took the reins. Wickham reshaped the group's image and sound, renaming them simply LaBelle and steering them toward the emerging glam rock movement. Known for its bold costumes and theatrical energy, glam rock gave LaBelle a fresh identity that resonated with audiences. This reinvention proved to be a game changer. Under Wickham's guidance, LaBelle achieved critical and commercial success, reaching their peak with the release of Lady Marmalade. The song, with its infectious melody and unapologetic style, soared to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, becoming an anthem of its era and solidifying the group's place in music history. LaBelle's groundbreaking achievements didn't stop there. They made history as the first black pop act to perform at the prestigious Metropolitan Opera House, a milestone that underscored their impact on American music. They also became the first black vocal group to grace the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, a symbol of their influence and cultural significance. In her autobiography, Don't Block the Blessings, Patti reflected on this remarkable era, highlighting how the group's embrace of glam rock and their bold new image positioned them as trailblazers in the music industry. Their success wasn't just about chart-topping hits, it was about breaking barriers and redefining what was possible for artists of their time. Despite their success and widespread acclaim, LaBelle's internal dynamics began to unravel by the mid-1970s. Patti LaBelle's heart was pulling her back towards soulful ballads, while Nona Hendryx gravitated more toward the glam rock sound that had defined their transformation. Sarah Dash, on the other hand, leaned toward disco, creating a divide in their musical visions. These differences led to mounting tension within the group, culminating in a dramatic moment during a performance in December 1976. As the trio prepared to close the show, Nona unexpectedly left the stage, overwhelmed by an emotional breakdown. She was rushed to the hospital, marking a breaking point for LaBelle. The emotional toll and creative differences became too much to bear, and the group made the difficult decision to part ways. For fans and industry insiders, Patti LaBelle seemed destined to shine as a solo artist. She had been the group's lead vocalist and the face of their brand. So many believed her solo career would eclipse even LaBelle's success. But the road to solo stardom proved to be more challenging than expected. In 1977, Patti released her self-titled debut album, Patti LaBelle, which earned critical acclaim and featured standout singles like Joy to Have Your Love, Dance With Me, and the heartfelt anthem, You Are My Friend. These tracks showcased Patti's unmatched vocal talent and laid the groundwork for her solo career. While the album received praise, it didn't generate the lasting momentum she needed to establish herself as a solo powerhouse. Her subsequent albums, Tasty, 1978, It's Alright With Me, 1980, and Released, 1981, all demonstrated her artistry but struggled to achieve significant commercial success. These years were marked by challenges, as Patti worked to find her footing in an increasingly competitive music landscape. The transition from being part of a groundbreaking group to standing alone proved to be a test of her resilience. In 1981, Patti took a bold step to reinvigorate her career by leaving Epic Records and signing with Philadelphia International Records, a label renowned for its deep roots in soul and R&B. This move marked a fresh start, offering her the chance to reconnect with the genre that had always been at the heart of her music. Around this time, Patti's interests began to expand beyond music as she explored opportunities in theater and Broadway. This new direction hinted at her versatility as an artist and laid the foundation for the next phase of her storied career. Even as Patti LaBelle explored new horizons in theater, she never strayed far from her musical roots. In 1983, while performing on Broadway, she recorded a stunning rendition of the ballad "The Best Is Yet to Come." That same year, she released the single "If Only You Knew" and the album "I'm in Love Again," marking a pivotal moment in her career. The album, which peaked at number 146 on the Billboard 200 and achieved gold status with over 500,000 copies sold, broke her streak of less successful releases and signaled the start of a transformative decade for Patti. Her growing success in the 1980s coincided with her emergence as a cultural icon, celebrated not only for her music but for her deep connection to diverse communities. In Live Through This: Surviving the Intersections of Sexuality, God, and Race, author C. Kane refers to Patti as arguably the greatest icon of her time, highlighting her unique bond with the LGBT community. Despite her traditional upbringing and strong ties to the church, Patti has been recognized as a fierce ally and advocate for equality. Her music and activism have, over the past 5 decades, solidified her as a champion of equal rights and a beloved figure in the LGBT community. Patti's relationship with the LGBT community is rooted in her unwavering commitment to justice and her belief in using her platform to amplify marginalized voices. In an interview with the New York Post, she emphasized her dedication to speaking out against injustice. "I'm very vocal about speaking my mind when I see unfairness. Some people feel hesitant to speak up, but I think I'm here to be a voice." Referring to her role as a mentor and advocate, Patti has often described members of the LGBT community as "some of my children," reflecting her personal connection and maternal support for those who look up to her. One of the most poignant examples of Patti's compassion and advocacy is her relationship with the late Luther Vandross. During an appearance on Watch What Happens Live, Patti shared how Luther confided in her about his internal struggle over whether to publicly share his true self. Luther, a private person, worried about potential rejection from his mother and his fans, which kept him from coming out during his lifetime. Patti's role as a trusted confidant and her empathetic support during such a vulnerable time demonstrated her deep understanding of the challenges faced by those grappling with their identities. Her unwavering kindness and willingness to stand beside those in need further cemented her legacy as not just a music legend but a beacon of love and acceptance. During the devastating HIV/AIDS epidemic, Patti LaBelle's advocacy became a lifeline for many in the Black and LGBT communities. Recognizing the disproportionate impact of the epidemic on marginalized groups, Patti stepped up as a prominent voice for awareness and change. In 1987, she became a spokesperson for the National Minority AIDS Council, using her influence to educate and inspire action. One of her most impactful contributions was leading the Live Long Sugar campaign, which encouraged people of color to seek treatment and support. This campaign addressed crucial healthcare disparities, empowering individuals with knowledge about HIV/AIDS, and challenging the stigma surrounding the disease. Patti's efforts during this time showcased her unwavering commitment to justice and compassion for underserved communities. Shifting to a more personal chapter of her life, many fans are fascinated by Patti's love story with Armstead Edwards, a relationship rooted in both professional and personal partnership. Before they were married, Edwards served as Patti's manager, a dynamic that shaped their early connection. According to the Huffington Post, Edwards proposed to Patti 3 times before she made a bold move of her own. "He asked me to marry him 3 times and I said no. The 4th time I asked him," Patti shared, reflecting on their unconventional path to marriage. Their union in 1969 marked the start of a deeply connected and supportive partnership. In the years that followed, Patti and Edwards built a beautiful life together. They welcomed their son Zuri in 1973 and went on to embrace an extended family dynamic. After the loss of Patti's sister Jackie, they stepped in to raise her children, along with 2 children of a neighbor. This large, loving household reflected Patti and Edwards' shared commitment to family and their willingness to provide care and support to those in need. Despite their strong bond and a relationship free of conflict, Patti and Armstead's marriage faced its own challenges over time. After more than 30 years together, the couple announced their separation in 2000, finalizing their divorce 3 years later. Remarkably, their parting was amicable, a testament to the mutual respect they maintained. Patti later described the separation as being without bitterness, telling Country Living that they simply grew apart, but continued to hold each other in high regard. Their story remains one of love, partnership, friendship and a graceful transition into separate chapters of their lives. Reflecting on her 32-year marriage to Armstead Edwards, Patti LaBelle has consistently highlighted the respect and affection that endured even after their separation. "I never hated him. He never hated me. We just couldn't live together," she shared. "We never fought, thank God. In 32 years, we got along, even when we didn't get along. This mutual understanding allowed their divorce to remain amicable, enabling them to maintain a close and supportive friendship. Even after their split, Patti and Edwards continued to prioritize family and stayed involved in each other's lives. Patti has referred to Armstead as one of her best friends, a sentiment that has been clear in public moments over the years. In 2019, she posted a heartwarming photo on Instagram celebrating Edwards' birthday alongside family, showing that their bond extended beyond their marriage. Through her reflections, Patti has consistently emphasized the positives of their time together and the respect that remained intact, proving that love can evolve without fading entirely. Their story stands as a testament to the possibility of maintaining meaningful relationships even as circumstances change. While Patti's early years were relatively free from public controversy, recent decades have brought occasional legal disputes that have complicated her otherwise celebrated career. One high-profile incident occurred in 2008, resulting in a lawsuit that gained widespread media attention. In 2010, CNN reported that Patti settled for $100,000 following claims from a mother who alleged that Patti had verbally and physically confronted her and her 18-month-old child in a Manhattan hotel lobby. The woman accused Patti of raising her voice, using harsh language, and throwing water during the incident. Patti and her team denied the allegations, but the settlement drew significant public scrutiny, adding an unwelcome blemish to her record. A year later, in 2011, Patti faced another legal challenge involving her security team. The lawsuit, centered on an event near West Point, claimed that Patti's security guards confronted a cadet who had walked too close to their limousine, allegedly leaving the cadet with minor injuries. This incident brought further attention to Patti's security measures, raising questions about their conduct. However, in 2014, a jury sided with Patti's security team, dismissing the claims against her. According to the Seattle Times, this ruling cleared Patti of responsibility, providing some resolution to the controversy. Though these incidents introduced moments of turbulence into Patti's otherwise illustrious career, they stand as reminders of the complexities faced by public figures. Through it all, Patti's resilience and commitment to her craft have remained unshaken, continuing to define her legacy as one of music's most iconic and endearing stars. Patti LaBelle's life has been marked not only by extraordinary achievements, but also by profound family tragedies. The losses began with the passing of her eldest sister, Vivian Hogan Rogers, who died at just 43 years old. Known affectionately as Viv, she was more than a sister to Patti. She was a key part of her early musical journey. Losing Viv was a devastating blow, but it was only the beginning of a series of heartbreaking losses for the LaBelle family. Soon after, Patti faced another tragedy with the death of her sister Barbara Purifoy, who had also been a member of Patti's first singing group, the Ordettes. Barbara passed away at 40 after bravely battling health challenges, deepening Patti's grief. The most painful loss came with the passing of her youngest sister, Jackie, who died from a brain condition at 43. This particular tragedy left Patti with a lasting sense of regret. Jackie had asked Patti for an egg sandwich shortly before her passing, and Patti had promised to bring it the next day. Tragically, Jackie passed away before Patti could fulfill that promise, a memory Patti has shared openly, calling it one of her greatest sources of sadness. In an interview on Oprah's Master Class, she reflected on this moment, speaking about the unresolved pain it brought her. The heartbreak didn't end there. Patti also lost both of her parents within a short span. Her father passed away from Alzheimer's, while her mother succumbed to complications from diabetes. Her mother's death held particular significance for Patti, as she later discovered she had inherited the same condition. In 1995, during a performance in New York, Patti fainted on stage. After regaining consciousness, her doctor revealed that she had type 2 diabetes. This diagnosis felt both shocking and inevitable, as diabetes had already claimed the lives of her mother, aunt, and grandmother. Initially, Patti felt angry and frustrated by her diagnosis. However, her family's history gave her the motivation to take control of her health. Determined to break the cycle, Patti adopted a disciplined approach to managing her diabetes. She enlisted the help of a personal trainer, making exercise a regular part of her routine. She also transformed her diet, crafting a lifestyle centered on healthier eating. Her passion for food led her to write cookbooks filled with diabetes-friendly recipes, sharing her journey with others facing similar challenges. Patti didn't stop there. She expanded her impact by launching her own line of sauces called Patti's Good Life, encouraging healthier choices while blending her love for cooking with her commitment to health. Through resilience and determination, Patti turned a challenging diagnosis into an opportunity to inspire others. What do you think about the challenges Patti LaBelle has faced and how she's overcome them? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.